Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Punjaji. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Christ. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Buddha. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ram. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Yogi Ram Surat Kumar. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Bankai. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Sarupananda. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ganga. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Namaste, welcome everyone to Satsang here in Rishikesh. Good. May everyone, each and everyone who has within their heart this deep yearning to come to the complete and stable recognition of the Self, come to that discovery. And be free timelessly. We will begin like that. Let it be for no lesser thing, because what I have just mentioned is totally available. It is totally natural to every human being. It is a question of maturity and time. Questions concerning the nature of the Self and how to be free from the delusions and distractions born out of Maya Shakti, these will be addressed here.
Namaste, Mooji Baba.
Namaste.
Mooji Baba, that to which the Master points is here right now. So I was wondering if we could look together.
Okay, you start. You say it is here right now. Please, just for a moment, can I check if the sound is okay for you? At the back you're fine, and over here you're fine. It's just a little echo for me, so I don't know if you're picking that up. I will continue. You say that which is here right now. Is that an assumption or is it your experience?
You're the one that showed it to me, so I think you secretly know the answer to that.
If I showed it to you, you also know the answer. If I showed it to you and you grasp it, you also know the answer. It's not even answer, then you will be the answer. That's awesome. But it seems that's not clear. Yeah? let's just be simple, honest. You know, I don't feel we are speaking, as I say, truth is ever present and it is simple. But the seeker of truth is complex. So often, what appears to be the difficulty or the complexity of truth is actually the self-image of the seeker. So you say, please, again, refresh yourself. What is it you are asking?
I can certainly see it. I can see how perfect it is. I can see how immaculate it is.
Okay, if you can see something, where is it? How close to your eyes is it? I can see how clear it is. What did you say? I can see what else?
I can see it, but I don't see it from my eyes.
Okay, so you can see it. You don't see it with your eyes. You must see it somehow with some function of perception, something you're able to perceive it. What distance is it from you?
I don't perceive any distance.
Very good. So then what now?
I can see that it pervades this entire space.
Yes.
It penetrates so effortlessly through seeming time and space. It was here before we gathered here this morning. It's a testament to its greatness that a seeming duality can exist within it.
Yes.
No matter how high the words of exaltation that are offered to it, none can ever do justice to its greatness. I feel like I have a sound command of the English language, but it's taking my words away from me.
What about the last statement is about your words? What?
I have no words.
You have no words, right? Okay. It sounds you're pretty done, isn't it? If what you're saying is true so far, it is also enough. So now what you say, it cannot be, there's no distance to it also. Nothing you can say can do it justice. It is always here. It pervades all that you see, which means that all the elements and the possible combination of them, it pervades them. It is there before everything that appears. Whatever appears in it, disappears in it without making any ripple to it at all. So it is the constant.
There's no exertion that can come from the egoic mind or the egoic identity that can make it any better.
Okay. So?
I could just rest in it, be one with it, be absorbed in it.
Were you two to it, to rest in it, and to... We're not being technical, but there is something hidden in the words that we speak, where we may even have the sense that you have grasped it, you spoke eloquently about it, but there seemed to be something that you must confess, which is
all I can say is that I can see it. I'm in the recognition of it. I know that I am it. It is just my wish that by the grace of the Master, by the grace of that which is, I one day be one with it.
Whose idea is it that you were two to become one with I'm not assuming that everyone will grasp these words and it's a question of correct English. But, if I am to listen and to take you at your word, you say you can perceive it, you're aware of it, you say all these wonderful things about it. And I wonder, who are you speaking about it? Where is your place in it?
I can see that it's an illusory ahamkar that's clothed in the clothes of a spiritual seeker. Yeah. But I can also see that ahamkar exists within it.
You who see this is the ahamkar or the witness of ahamkar?
The witness of it.
Yeah, so speak of you. You say you can see the variations that appear in it, all appearances come and go. Even the idea of the seeker also appears in it.
Yes, the seeker is phenomenal relative to it.
Yes. Who speaks this? Who sees this? Even the seeker is also seen. By what is it seen? Evidently it is by you. You are speaking as what and from where, you must look. I don't know if everyone has reached this stage of looking as yet. You can relate to what we are speaking, largely. So those who as yet are not grasping, it's okay, relax, I'll come to you. But now here at this point, if you say that even the one searching to find the truth is also perceived, by what is it perceived?
It must be perceived from the place of that which is.
Speak directly also. There's no need for indirectness. Speak directly, confirm. Don't assume or suppose. You ought to be able to speak directly, so do this. You say even the seeker, because the seeker wants something. When the seeker finds what the seeker is searching for, the seeker is no more. When the seeker finds the sought or what is being searched for, it is at least the end of the seeking. Does the seeker become a finder? And is the finder another entity? Are we going too fast?
You've shown us so many times that when the seeker finds that which is, the seeker no longer remains.
Not a seeker. Something remains. But the label of seeker goes with seeking. If you have found what you are searching for, the search is finished. It's a simple statement. Come.
Is only that. Even this seeming play of duality exists within that, as that.
The play of duality is an unstable phenomenon. The play of duality is always fluctuating and is also observed to be that. So to say it is the same as that, it's apparent. The self is not apparent. Duality is also experienced. The self is not an experience. I don't want to put words in your mouth, though. We are just clarifying to see if the misunderstanding is conceptual, or if it is real, that the seeker exists, yes, as an apparent phenomenon, searching for the self, its own essence, its own source. Which is greater, which is more stable, the seeker searching for its own source or the source itself, and are they two?
It is certainly the source that is stable.
Yeah, but what you speak now must be your experience and you must confirm. Otherwise, what I have noticed is that we seem to have a conversation that then gets confirmed, but experientially the speaker then leaves with a doubt. You must be fulfilled by our conversation. If it's merely a deduction based upon things we have read and understood intellectually, then you're leaving somehow. You'll go back to your seat still feeling, well, my mouth did well, my mind did well, but I am still unwell. We are here to clarify and to show that clarifying experientially is the same as seeing, and that seeing and being, they are one. It cannot be that something called intellectual satisfaction or intellectual conviction will be sufficient. It will not be. So I'm here with you looking, and I hope we come up with something other than a clever conversation.
I think you are the better assessor of my position.
You know your position?
I know that which is here.
Okay. Let's start again. In simple words, what would you like from me?
Just your blessings. I still don't have a question.
My blessing for what?
That only that oneness remains.
That only that oneness remains after what?
There was always that oneness. It was just Maya that seemed to cover it. There was only that oneness, but it was seeming Maya that covered that recognition.
What is Maya covering oneness?
Only that which is.
It's good we have this also, because with this type of conversation so far, we can also look and see, maybe we also in our own mind play this little game also. And to admit that actually it can go on and on without fulfillment. So I'm going to give you one more chance.
No, Muji Baba, I just need your blessings. I need...
That you have.
That's all I really ask for.
That you have. Can you receive it?
I'm going to try my very best to receive it.
Huh?
I'm going to try all that is in my power to receive it.
My blessing would be to remove you. I'm not being unkind about it.
No, of course not. I've known you long enough to know that.
Okay. May I speak with you? You go to this microphone.
Moji Baba.
Namaste.
Baba, my question is, I can't seem to slow myself down to be able to experience this isness
Yes.
that we talk about.
Yes. You're saying you don't seem to be able to slow yourself down or your mind down or whatever,
Yes.
so that you can experience the isness. That is not necessary, because there is no condition standing in front of the isness as a barrier. Isness meaning that which exists, that which alone exists timelessly, which cannot be affected by the play of the body-mind, or what you may call the Shakti of Maya. Nothing can affect it at all, okay? Now you say, I don't seem to be able to slow myself, you use the word self, I say slow my mind down sufficiently to experience and to confirm the isness. I say that is not needed. Even racy mind is also a phenomenon observed in you naturally. You don't have to go anywhere to know. Now the mind is very busy. Mind is busy, and now it says, wow, I must slow the mind down in order to really be aware of myself. That is also a thought. It is also a thought that until my mind relaxes, I won't be able to focus on the isness or the self. I put it that is not true. You are already that which observes the playfulness or the restlessness of mind or even body also. We only are clarifying now that you're watching that. The idea that that is necessary in order for you to be what you are, throw out that idea. Throw out this idea that you have to do something to be the isness. Even this idea of a you who need to do something to be the isness is also an idea. May I say like this? Even, you see, normally you will not hear this. We will come as much as saying, yes, if you can stop your mind, if you can control the breath, if you can do, then such and such will be the result. I'm pushing it a step further, and so please, if you can, understand what I'm saying. If I say you can control the breath, if you can slow down the mental activity, then you will discover the self. I put a condition on the self which is not natural for it. And I will also be reinforcing an idea that you are apart from the self, and you would need to do something to become the self. There was a time when myself also believed that, and it felt true. But now I see that is another idea, if believed in, will perpetuate the sense of separation from the self. If the self alone exists, where is the seeker coming from? In what dimension does the seeker exist as a reality to have to travel to meet the self, which is itself infinite? What happens is that we are so accustomed to our identity shaped in the mind that even though this may make some kind of sense to you, your dynamic perception feels more true as the position of the seeker that needs to accomplish something than of the self which is really what you are. So we'll have to keep on speaking as though there is something to do, there's a gap to close, there's something to become. Because that is the language that the mind person will insist on using. Because to say, but you are the self, it will go, yes, I know. But it will not confirm, of course it is true. So it has to be proven. And this I hope that we can do together. The fact already is, no one can perfect the self. In fact, nobody can reach the self. This may seem an unusual pointer or teaching, because we are universally convinced that we are separate from the God self, from the pure consciousness, and we must do some work, some sadhana, to close the gap, if even to merge with that. So this is the common belief held by most beings for a while. I say for a while because we will move on from that. Any sincere seeker will come to a point when that will not be sufficient, it will not be satisfying, and a natural urge to go further will come like that. And so again, the thought comes that my mind is too fast. It's just always, some tsunami is happening inside my head, and I just have to wait until that settles down, and then I can pick up my sadhana again to see if I can get to the self. But all of these together are thought. The trouble is, what I say, you will not immediately accept, because it will not feel experientially true. The habit is to believe, yes, but I still help me to get to that, because you are convinced of your reality as the seeker and separated from your goal. You see? So I'm pushing the game up to that kind of intensity, because here you will get today's result. Otherwise, I am promoting a journey that may take, we don't know how long. We don't know how long we have been on the road of seeking also. Now it has become clear what is the misunderstanding. What is it that creates this sense that even we are under some spell? Why we can't get it? Because the we or the I that you think you are, itself promotes separation. The self that you are is more real than your present idea of yourself. Any change is not going to take place in the pure self, but to the non-self or the false self. Not that we have an idea that the false self must grow towards the pure self. In another way of looking, you can say the false self must continue thinning away, disappearing, until when it finally disappears, all that's left is the real self. The real self has not made any journey at all. But I concede, whatever way we perceive it, the important thing is that something is changing. Either if you feel I'm getting closer and closer to the self, does it have value? Yes, it has experiential value. It means that whatever concepts we have been embracing that has become a kind of obstacle, they are thinning away, and you're experiencing more the pure, the vastness. All of this is becoming much more natural for you. I need to take the time to explain this again, so that now when we come back to your question, which is, my mind is too restless. My mind is too restless, and many people ask, please bless me, please help me to have a calm mind. But I'm telling you mind bypass. That the mind itself If you believe, yes, because my mind is like that, I'm distanced from the self, that thought has won over you. One thing, if I can take the risk of saying now, when we say the mind is blocking you from realizing the self, yes, I say the mind is your thought and your belief. May I say something else? That you who believe in the mind also is a mixture of something false and something true. I don't know if it is too early to be speaking like that. I say this because to say this brings a kind of ouch. Because something is protecting and preserving the identity of the seeker. God is playing all these roles and all these stages of belief in the journey of self-discovery. And it is a wise game, and it is quite fair, actually. But I don't want to go too far into that right now. I would prefer that the seeing becomes so clear that the false cannot be found anymore. So back to you, my mind is too loud and seems to get in the way of my focus. But that is also seen. That is also seen. Suppose your entire body form was full of noise. You are also the witness of that. But here is the real mischief. When that is believed to hide the self, which is infinite, and is there also more pronounced in the one who says, even the mind is so noisy right now, and knows that that makes no difference to what I am. But we will have to confirm, and it will have to be experienced in such a clear way that you are the self. You're not believing you are the self that you come to see, but I can only be this. Everything else is only apparent, and everything that is apparent is watched by me. You see?
Yes, conceptually I see it, and I also sort of conceptually see that, okay, the act of observing my restless mind is also awareness.
Yes.
But the fact that physically and mentally my mind is racing so much, I cannot seem to find time out to even observe the restlessness.
The fact that the mind and the body is so restless is taken to be important. The belief that my mind is so restless right now that, I'm not able to go further, it believed in, creates the sense of an obstacle. It is not true, but if it is believed in, it will become true for you experientially. That is how thoughts work. A thought without belief has no power. A thought with belief can start a war or heal a nation's pain even. Belief is the operational factor here. You see, we are believing what we are conceiving also. Meaning that now presently you're feeling, yes, my mind, if I just need to slow my mind down, and you may even take up a practice to slow your mind down so that you can continue your sadhana and your journey towards the self, which is all imagined. I am starting, you are the self. I don't expect that by saying that it will be enough for you, but I am going to state the fact from the beginning, and then I'm going to set about to prove it for you. Otherwise, we are searching in the dark from which concept and this thing and so on. My way is direct, and it will cut the journey short. Because the more we start to work with the mind will keep pushing up new concepts, new directions, and so on. And we are habituated to believe in these things, you see. So because I cut it, then sometimes what may happen is that it may produce within you some frustration. The seeker will feel frustration, which is also observable, by the way. If it is observable, sometimes you feel it is observable, but at the same time, I really wish it was gone. Understandable also, no? I just have to find what works quickest and best for you. If you can see that you said something earlier, but this thing here, of the mind and the mind noise, the whatever, all this shaking, I understand you say conceptually, did you say? I understand it conceptually?
Yes.
What makes the difference between conceptual understanding and true understanding? Why did you label it conceptual? What is the difference between saying I understand this thing mentally or conceptually, or yes, good, yes, whoa, the serum is in. What makes the difference? Could it possibly be habit also? Something just won't accept to be open enough that will drop in more, that you say it's still something in my mind is using it. Maybe you mean my mind has taken those words, that it needs to slow down. It's telling you need to slow down the mind in order to reach the self. And if that is believed, the mind has purchased a lot of time. Because it says, you're going to keep practicing to slow your mind down. That's going to take some time. That's very good. But if you know, but no, that's not true. To slow my mind down, what's that to do with the self? How far is the self from you? We can keep using concepts for a while until they combust into spiritual knowledge. They are useful up to some point, but not all the way home. Again, we use a point. My mind is too noisy. I say, see this as a thought right now. It's only a thought, okay? You notice that thought. The one who is even aware, if I say that's a thought and recognize that that's a thought, if you say, but that's just a thought, then there should be more space in you again. Now, is that intellectual or is it experiential?
It's experiential, and I've experienced this.
Yes, but now, not half, now.
Now. But what scares me, or what my problem is I experience...
What's scaring you now, or what scared you in the past?
Right now.
Okay, what's scaring now is
I know I'm here and I can see it. I experience it.
What? It meaning?
This state of being able to even see the restlessness.
Yes. Okay.
But in the past, I've been through different meditations. What scares me about myself or this habit pattern is this rush, and like I've tried different meditation techniques or yoga, and I keep on moving, jumping. So what scares me is, okay, I see something very simple, very easy here, and I resonate with your teachings, and I've experienced it experientially, but I'm going to skip, like I'm going to move to something else. I don't want to move to something else.
Yeah, whatever move to something else is also thought-based and observable. Stay with the weakness, but don't clothe it into some shape. whatever you say, when I leave from here, what scares me, when I leave from here, my mind will pick up another technique to try and do something. The weakness has changed?
No.
No, stay as the weakness. So gradually you see, I don't have to keep running after these things that the mind is throwing out. Look, I throw you bread now, now throw you biscuit, you know? You watch that, no? And by watching something, you're clear that the thing you're watching is what is moving, okay? You cannot be that because you are here to observe the coming and going of those thoughts, feelings, sensation, ideas, no? If you were them, when they go, you would also be gone. But you're here to witness, but I'm still here. Now it's not strong anymore, it's gone. Pay attention to the weakness. We are too much projecting energy into the traffic and forgetting you are the witness of this. Get stabilized in the witness. Try to witness the witness. Stop for a second. We are normally witnessing this thing going on, and we each telling the story of what's going on, which is totally subjective, by the way. No one's point of view is universal. But we are in the habit of that. The witness simply is witnessing, okay? It's aware that even witnessing is not really doing, it's happening. If you take your attention from the traffic of what is moving and just put it more just on the environment and the ability of witnessing, does the witnessing have any story touching it? You can do this now, anyone can do. If instead of the habit of going out into the crime scene, you stay only as the neutral witness. Is the witness moving? Is the witnessing the source? The witnessing is present. The witnessing. And then also the traffic of things reported about. If you pay attention, just let the attention rest inside the witnessing. Is it spacious or is it claustrophobic? No.
It is spacious.
May I take one step earlier also? Could I also say that the act of witnessing or the function of perception is also perceivable? Anybody with me? That even the functioning of witnessing, that even seeing is also perceived. Seeing is seen also. Are you stretching to reach where I'm speaking? Actually, it's effortless. It only needs to be reminded of you and you find that you are here. Do you travel to here? Did you have to step back physically? Or just the fact that it is pointed out to you again, and ignorance or a lesser seeing become more distant, you're simply here. You, the original one, does not need to move at all. The traffic of reported sensation and so on, that is moving. The witness, relatively, is not moving. Okay? Pay attention, be aware of the witnessing itself. And what happened? The mind wants to tell the story what is happening. When you're telling and believing the story what is happening, you are unaware of you who is seeing this, including the story. If you can catch what I'm speaking, okay, you can cut these delusions very profoundly. It may take a while to stabilize in the total seeing, but you're not just running around in the bush anymore. The mind, the movement, and all of this stuff, you keep identifying with it, so you experience instability in yourself. I say yourself cannot be unstable or instable. You are the witness of even some things are so subtle that there are no names for them, yet they show up in your consciousness. That is the power of consciousness. The more this is confirmed, the more grounded it becomes. The less you'll find yourself pulled here and there by the mind flow. You will conquer it by not following the mind flow. That will be a development for you. You will experience more stableness in you, stability and peace and detachment. That is what equates to spiritual maturing or maturity. And these can happen very quickly also. But you need to catch it. Otherwise, you'll be following the mind's version to stabilize, which it will only be pretending to help you.
Yes. If I try to be polite, then I'll just say, okay, and go away. But when you say, okay, remind yourself that you need to catch yourself.
Say again?
So when you say, okay, throughout the day, remind yourself that you're even witnessing, seeing yourself seeing. Is an example.
Let's not make it complicated.
But I can't seem to stop to remind.
You see, you put again that you must stop your mind. When you pay attention to yourself, your mind will stop. When you pay attention to your mind will gallop. When you pay attention to that which sees the mind will slow down. That's how it works.
Yes, now I see.
Yeah? So we are watching the phenomena of mind activity. We have been accustomed to that. We have been conditioned. It's been a culture to pay attention to the movement of the elements, the senses, sense, intention and goal, mind, habits of fantasizing and projecting and so on. All of this is visible to you at a deeper level. I'm calling it a deeper level, but it's just right here. We're habituated to that. We speak to each other about things like this. But when you pay attention to that which is the perceiving power of all that appears in you, the whole thing slows down. Because there's no story. There's just a quality of beingness or isness. It's stable. As you taste that energetically, you already are attracted to it. Because instantly you are in a field of peace. You know it, it's natural to you. The more you pay attention to it, you're falling in love again to that which is stable in you. Because only here will you have lasting peace. Will you have natural conviction that you are not the traffic of comings and goings. Then you will come to see every thought, every feeling, every idea is just like a cloud passing. You don't need to follow anything. You are like the sky, infinite and unbound. This must develop in you, that power. And it is natural, so therefore it should not take so much time also. Only the habit or the reflex to keep referencing yourself through the mind and body will seem to slow you down, seem to.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for now. This lady has had her hand up for quite a while. Come on then, let me see what you have to say. It is indeed good that we can begin on the first day at this level of introspection, no?
Namaste.
Namaste.
This is my first satsang, and I have a very fundamental question about death. How does one really deal with bereavement, and when you lose your dear ones? You know, people say that they're there, but my question is, how and where are they?
Yes. How they are, where are they? Because something is invisible does not mean it does not exist. Many things are not visible to the human being on this level of perceiving, but does not mean they don't exist. Now, you had a relationship with a human being where you had a tangible contact, emotional, all of these things were present, no? And the form is not there anymore. The consciousness that's functioning in that form, whatever it is that was made up of just mind stuff, a lot of that will not travel with them. Some more deeper impressions, the quality of their understanding, the potency of their love, all of these things they will carry forward with them. If they have strong attachment to this world through love, not just love, but oftentimes through any kind of negative emotion, resentment and fear, or attachment to property and people and so on, for a little bit they may hang around. But the pull to go into a higher state of consciousness is there for most people. Mostly they are in a better off situation than you imagine.
But how do the ones that are left behind, how are we supposed to accept death in a natural way?
How are you not supposed to accept it? How can you not accept it? You accept sickness. You accept sickness. You accept that this body is a pleasure and pain body also. You know that there are so many metaphors that consciousness is provided through sleep also, deep sleep, dream, what you call waking state, which you will come to see is another form of dream also. And what you call death is a very necessary part of the play of, you may call the Sagun Brahman, the dance of the manifest world and so on. Everything is changing. Also, many things in you die also for you to be here. All ideas die. All cells die. This was not the body that your mother gave birth to. It was constantly changing. It was not the size your mother gave birth to. You see, everything is changing. And eventually, ultimately, it will go back to elements, that aspect of yourself. This is a time body, but something timeless is functioning inside it. And this timeless also can appear as though it is timeful if it believes in the sense of personhood, which is also an aspect or mode of consciousness, more linked with the body. It comes into time mode. But it itself is timeless. You must understand that. I say, we have one saying, I say, we have you only live once, but it is forever. I say this, what it means. That which is timeless, It is infinite. The opportunity of having this body life experience, the highest opportunity, is to awaken to the highest truth in you, which is timeless and pure and perfect and blissful. Depend on how strong the urge is within you. I don't say you must produce urge. Also, you came here, some power brought you here. You could be many, many places in this country, but today you're here. What motivates you to be here? Something, I call it grace, connected with your inner maturity, your flow of your karma, destiny, you want to call it whatever, brought you to this point. And you wanted to ask this question, what happens at death, to my beloved ones? Okay, you say they're on to a better place, largely. But what about the ones left behind? What about them? And they will grieve the loss of their attachments. Or they will celebrate the life of that one. They will be grateful for the darshan of their passing also. Some people, their spiritual life really is triggered at the passing of the person that they most love also. It can go in different directions, you see. Make use of it. The wise person is going to make use of even painful situations and grow from them. You see? There is not a single fixed meaning in anything you see. There's not one single inherent meaning in them. The meaning of this is in the mind of the one who perceives it. The meaning of life exists in the mind of the one who is perceiving it. You see, something that once you thought was not good, maybe later on you came to appreciate, wow, it was so good that this happened, because so much of my life changed for the better. So we must not be too superficial about it, because it brings an ouch or whatever. We say, oh, that's not good. No, treat everything as a gift from God or from life, and you will change the orientation and the impact they have on you. This is totally possible. At a certain point, you will not even be not able to do that. At a certain point, you will intuitively and instinctively convert anything that may feel to be painful into some potent support for your liberation also. You will treat it as a gift. That is to do with your spiritual maturity.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody here wants to speak. You can come. Many others now.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I'm touched to be here and my question is can I get just your presence? grateful just to be here.
Me too. I feel grateful to be in the environment and the company where such things can be discussed, explored, and discovered also. For what greater purpose?
I'm also grateful, first time not to be totally stuck in fear when I speak with you, you know. That's great.
Yes.
I just wanted to have some orientation.
Some
Orientation.
Orientation.
The simple question is it so simple, you know? Is it so simple? I just sat for months and in the airplane and wherever I was, I said, I am, you know? If I looked at the I statements in my mind, and they hide it very quick, you know. And then I asked, who am I? And then I got back to the I am, and then the only sentence you proposed was, in English it's complicated, can me, the perceiver, see
myself?
See it, you know. Be seen. Yeah. Can me? Oh, I'm a little bit confused. Can me, the perceiver, be seen? That was the question you.
Yes.
You proposed. Is it so simple, you know? I did only this, and I became more and more lightful, and
yes,
a smile in my face, and full of gratitude and joy.
Yes.
And that was so simple. Is this all, you know? Do I have to think things, thoughts of watcher of the watcher and so on?
It depends also, because sometimes your very consciousness itself, your very beingness wants to dive deeper into itself.
Yeah.
And it will not as a trigger from the mind, but as a natural deepening, it may pull the attention into deeper waters, you can say like that. If you find that when I say, everything that we spoke earlier with someone, that whatever is appearing, it can only appear if it is perceived by something. That which is perceiving the things appearing, you see, often is pushed a lot of energy into looking at the things appearing and talking about them. But even whatever projects and is talking about the things perceived is also perceived also. Then ultimately I might say, but whatever that's perceiving, can that itself be perceived? And what happens is that the energy stops going out and turns around, so to speak. Now, is the perceiver perceivable? And if so, by what? So it may seem strange at first, and some people go, whoa, no, sorry, I can't do this. And that's fine for now. But others become fascinated by this, and they keep returning to this question, and it moves beyond the kind of like a wobble to a fascination, and somehow it's like, is the perceiver a phenomenon? Is it an object? You see? Then the mind might say, yes, I saw the perceiver. So if the perceiver is perceived, it must be perceived from another place of perceiving, a much purer place also. So some people, they are drawn to that question, and others are not. If you are not, I say, don't worry. there's another room, another door for you, or whatever. They all go to the same place. They all are showing the same place. You see? Now you ask, is when the I amness, the natural, intuitive, untaught way of knowing yourself, when that is not containing a whole heap of stories and references, effectively it becomes like just space, like an intuition that hasn't got a structure. It's just a knowing being. Is that final, you see? Well, it has moved away from the chaotic field of personhood. It has become more ethereal, more like space. This is a good sign because the sense of personhood, it feels very tangible. It's based very strongly on bodily identification, sense identification, mind identification. And so anyone who is living in the realm of personhood will find their life is up and down, unstable, because this is an unstable field. When I point you to that which witnesses the functioning of the body and mind, then it becomes, again, you become aware of it. You did not create it. In fact, everything you're searching from the smallest to the most complete, is already in you. We are only discovering. You don't need to create. Mind wants to create. It wants to invent. But for self-discovery, you're only discovering, only recognizing what has always been in you, always. That's the beauty. If self-discovery was a creative act, then some people will say, I'm not very creative, I'm not talented like that. And the creative ones would go ahead. But it is not a creative one. It's only discovering. Is the vibration, is the intuition, the sense I am, when you feel just the feeling of I am, and it is not in reference to time or history, but just an intuitive knowing and being, unassociated. Is that enough? It's enough for now. It is enough for now. Your life has elevated from the realm of personhood to presence. You are what you may say living in a state of conscious presence. You are aware that you exist, but you don't need to be attached to some object as the body deeply, although you don't have disrespect for the body, but you're not clinging to it. The body does not represent the essence. It is an instrument of consciousness. It is not the essence of consciousness. You will know this intuitively. The greatest knowledge you will come to know intuitively, not by studying books. Books are helpful, but they will be confirmed in your consciousness. So if you have come to the place where just the intuition, the sense of being, and the knowingness that all things arising and appearing are perceived in you naturally, without strain, you will already be in a higher state or altitude of consciousness, whereby there will be more peace. Your conversations will be more spontaneous, intuitive. There will be an increase in wisdom. You will find that fear is lessening. Anxiety is going. You're moving as though you're like space moving inside space. This is beautiful. But if you say, is that it? It's final? I say, it's good for now. At some point, no, it is great. This is already a state of Satchidananda in some respect. But at some point, one may come to recognize that even the state of conscious presence is observable. But don't rush for that. It is a natural ripening in consciousness, where you come to see that whatever phenomenon is appearing, it is all the play of time. It is all, in India, there's a terminology I've been using more recently. We have heard of Brahman, which means absolute consciousness. And we started to speak about Nirgun Brahman. Nirgun Brahman is that pure absolute awareness consciousness self, beyond time or change or shape or form. It is the perfect one, the highest. We speak of Saguna Brahman, which is the same Brahman manifesting as existence, as the world, as all the elements and their play, as the mind, as the breath, the prana, as the creative powers of the mind. All of that is Saguna Brahman. And recently you have discovered the invitation, which I call my listening mirror, meaning that as you're following the invitation, it is revealing in you that you are seeing or becoming aware of that which cannot be seen physically. You are becoming aware of your Nirgun Brahman self. In fact, the highest of the high, in fact. After which, as much as you are grounded in that understanding will bless every aspect of your expression in Saguna Brahman. Over the period of time that we are here together, by God's will, each one will absorb increasingly in a natural way. You must come to the recognition, I call that the crossing over, from the time-bound personal self into timeless awareness. When you come to the realization of your timelessness, you will also still function in the realm of apparent time and change. And this is perfect. In fact, more beautifully than when you believed it to be real. It is also real, you can say, but it is changeful. Nirgun Brahman is not changeful. Now I'm using words, mind, words, they go together, can create a kind of complexity out of habit and conditioning and culture. But as you listen, if you come to that state of emptiness in which things are intuitively known, but not just information, but spiritually, then you see that actually you are not collecting knowledge at all. Knowledge is only a mirror to remind you of your timeless existence. The thing is, wherever we evolve to, generally, if it's in consciousness, every stage of consciousness feels good. You will feel comfortable. And to that extent, sometimes we want to stay there. So some deeper urge compels you along the way.
Little question. Once, it's long times ago, I went into samadhi in not putting a question, you know, and work with this not putting a question. What watching every question coming up and of its intent and its motivation and all this for months. And at the end I went out and had no more ego. Yes? And now I try to question what I missed there a lot. And till it fell away, the intent or the need for questioning fell away, and then I was free for a while, for some months. And now it's like it's good to question and to come through this fear which I have in contact with you, for example. Yes, this fear, and now it's I have overcome it a little bit, very much. Yes, and I thank you very much.
Thank you. Now I can't see so clearly. So. What to choose, no? Someone over there. Whoever gets here first. Namaste.
Thank you, and thank you all for this timing. I have to say that I have been following the pointing since last year, and I was fully into your points, and I'm just saying that because you know where am I staying now, and I now in this stage in my life I can get rid of thinking and thoughts. Now I can control my thoughts, and now I am not attached to things like before, and I can go through my life so much wisely, and the sentence, I remember a sentence from one of your satsang that the highest is the simplest, and it caught me very deeply. And also you said if you want to go even one step further, where you want to go. And it affected me very, very deeply. And I mean, if the highest is the simplest, now I am here to see why I cannot see the simplest. What is it that I cannot grasp?
Okay, simplest? I give an example, which I've given many times in the past. I've not used it, but as you speak, I will put it like this. No? If you imagine a knife, I have a knife here. It's very, very sharp. It's as sharp as a razor. I can cut so many things with it. Cut so many things with it. But however sharp it is, it cannot cut itself. Fair enough? The knife can cut so many things. But it cannot cut itself. Or the tongue can taste so many flavors, it cannot taste itself. The eyes can see so many forms, but they cannot see themselves directly. And try. A scale can weigh many objects, but it cannot weigh its own self. Why? With you, same thing. they cannot weigh themselves, cannot cut itself because it's only one. You are also one. Others, you can have a sense of otherness. Others you can see. But yourself you cannot see. You can only be. But the mind says, but I'm trying to find myself. So it is trying to find something that it can go, finally, but how can it be? Because if it said, finally, I've come to the highest, I've found myself, who is it that found the self? Which would be true? The thing found or the one who finds? It is like that. It is like a mystery, but it's very simple. The mystery is because we, being the self, are trying to find the self. Like we find other things, which we call not the self. And everything you find, you will discard eventually as not the self. In the ancient times, even in this country, the yogis, the meditators, they would say neti, neti, not this. They were also searching for the one. And everything that the senses could present to them, they said, not this, it is not this, it is not that. Then a wise one come and say, start even with your own body. Your senses are functions, they are not you. You are not the sight. That's why you can say, my sight in my right eye is about 60%, in the left eye 80%. What sees the seeing or the lack of seeing? So things like that, they came to see that nothing that appears through the senses or the mind can be the absolute. Where can be the absolute? When we say it is infinite, where it can be? You see? Because we have been conditioned to believe we are the body, which is not absolute. We are the mind, which is not absolute. It's always fluctuating. We are the sense of being also, which is not absolute. Then what is absolute then? And who will know it? Can the absolute be known by the relative? Like this, those who were used to contemplating, introspecting, they were following this kind of pattern. Now you say, but the highest, how can I grasp the highest? You being what can grasp the highest? The lowest? A little bit lower than the highest? What would you be to grasp the highest? So life plays like that the minute if you grasp the highest, in the moment you grasp the highest, you vanish. Or you vanish first and only the highest is left. But when you vanish, the highest is no longer the highest. It's neither high nor low. It just is this thing. You will also come to find you just are. Not as a mental deduction, it will come as a flash of intuitive seeing that, of course, I've been all my life trying to equate the self in a shape, imagined or actual, in some form, some kind of construct, and it can never be any of these things. When you count, if I say count to 10, you start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nobody starts 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, I say, you be 0. What is 0? Yet, if you hear it as a person, you're hearing it as a number, and you will not know what 0 is. So all of satsang is to get you to this place, which is already your place. To recognize beyond the position that you call your person, because your person cannot do it. Your person is only another cloud passing, but you're thinking it's you. And this must become clear. And it has to become clear here. I cannot determine that for you. I am saying that that's all there is that is true here. Everything else is a concoction. Everything else is a concept, a belief, and is not permanent. When you come to the place where the impermanent is seen as the impermanent and the permanent is known as the permanent, then you're out of this trap of the mind. We are largely living in a state of distraction. Distraction means distracted away from that which you are, which is obvious in a way, but until the obvious becomes obvious, it's not obvious. It's just this. It's not learning more and more and more and more. You can learn all the knowledge in the world and still not wake up. You may learn everything, every spiritual book, every temple you go, everything, and still not wake up. And you can be sitting here first time in satsang. And if it goes in a certain way, that you can see it. It can be simple like that. And I have full trust in that. Because I am here and you are here. I have no doubt in thee. And I have no doubt in you. Just you must become aware of what you fully are. Rumi say, as I said before, on this very stage, in one of his poems he says, knocking at the door. I've been knocking at the door. It opens. I have been knocking from inside. Knocking at the door. Suddenly it opens. I've been knocking from inside. What it means? He was always inside, but he did not know he's inside. He thought he was outside. That's why he's knocking. Knocking means I'm searching. I want to go in. I want to come home. This knocking is important. This knocking is the seeker's knocking. The door open means what? Grace comes. The door has to open. He has not moved. The door is open. Then you go, I've been knocking from inside. If the door did not open, he would not know he's inside. What is door opening? The realization that what I've been searching for is always what I've been. That is the door opening. I still don't expect that this is going to be people falling down. No. Mine, still tight. It's okay. It's okay. We have walked this journey before, and whatever brought you to this place is with you. It has to help you to wake up out of the dream of you. You came for that. I have total confidence that it has to happen. It has to happen, at least for somebody. But for me, why not everyone? Because everyone is it. But I'm not going to put any money on it. Everybody is that. But to come to the recognition of that I say is the will of God, the play of grace. Where is God? Also inside you. Also inside you.
Guruji, this urging, and I don't want to say seeking, but this urging and all the things that I'm being through is already lovely and it's so beautiful. And
Yes.
I can live 1,000 years in this situation. But the point is, as you said, that when the obvious is only obvious when it's obvious. So it means that we cannot do anything, and we just have to do not doing any specific things, and just to be and
No,
live and.
no, you come to satsang. The satsang is showing you where you're not actually doing so much, but you are available, you're open. You are here because of some urge moving in you, brought you here. I say it brought you here for this opportunity of recognition also. I cannot simply say, you're here just, no. Sometimes I see people and they're like, and I said, listen, better go for a walk on Ganga. Don't be here like that. If you are really here, then something must combust into seeing. It has to do it. You see, it has to do it. And when that takes place, then you see the obviousness of it. Then you see, whoa, but this is so natural. It's so totally natural.
So it's already happening, you say?
It's already happening. It's already here. The happening, if you want to say a happening, is the sort of thinning away of resistance, the thinning away of apathy, the thinning away of confusion. All these things are happening naturally in being in the energy field or the environment of satsang. This is it. When you're in the company of a sangha, evolved sangha, their spiritual influence is also helping to take out this heavy saturation and density out of the mind. That will create the sense that this is too difficult, I'm not getting anywhere, I don't know what to do, this type of thing. It will go all together. That mist will clear. Yeah.
Because I have sometimes I
speak now. Speak like now you have a few minutes to get it. Yes. Speak now like that. Yeah.
I have
now.
this scaring in my mind that because I haven't had any conflict with my mind during this last year.
You have not had any what?
I haven't had any conflict with my mind through these pointings, and I hear from everyone that I have conflict with my mind, and that makes me think that
somebody's telling you have conflict with your mind?
I don't have any conflict with my mind.
Right, so then who is telling you have conflict with your mind except your mind? If you have no conflict with your mind, it will not appear in someone else to tell you have conflict in your mind. Only if you're carrying that seed. Like some people have a very strong feeling, say someone has they want to hide their age. So they keep asking people, how old do you think I am? Okay? Now the person is 40 and they want to look like 23, okay? So they do all the thing and then they're going around saying, how old do you think I am? And the one they're asking knows it's not 23, okay? Because what? You're carrying time, and the time is a concept. You're wearing time. And actually, they may tell you 50, and then you'll die right there. Something like that. That's what happened. Whatever idea you carry in your mind is attractive to people who have something, not necessarily the same idea, but God will bring them together, something like that, no? So I feel if you say you have no conflict in your mind also, maybe if it's true, then people come and sit in your company always. They're very happy, they're just happy. And they may say to you, I don't know why, but I just like to sit next to you. You see? If you feel you have no conflict in your mind, because your mind says, I have no conflict, this can happen also. And something believes it, mind also believes it, mind person. And you may live for quite a long time and be seemingly satisfied with your life, but maybe you're not growing. And then you say, no, but the mind doesn't have to grow, I'm totally happy. So there are subtle things that only in your alert consciousness you will catch them. You will just feel something is not true about this. I said also one time, it is as though the I, the ego I, has the ability to slip behind the eyeball of the seer and say, look, there's no I. And there's no I. It's finished. But something will go, whoa, what was that? And you will catch him. You will flick him out. Because the truth is on your side. You will catch it. The right person will come to you to tell you what you need to know for your next move. And you will not know how you attracted them, because the world is made like that. Paramatman has designed the world to function like that. So what I was pointing to is don't be satisfied with your mind, and don't be dissatisfied with your mind. Don't give too much energy with this thing. You say, I wish to find ultimate truth. An urge is in you, you see? And we can look at that. Where could the ultimate truth be? Where could ultimate truth be? If you say, I want to go to Rishikesh Old Town, where I should tell you, I can point. You go down the road, down to the bottom, boom, 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 boom. In what direction must I point for ultimate truth? Intuitively, you can answer. Above, below, outside, inside. Where is ultimate truth?
There is no direction.
It has to be right where you are. Then what appears to cover it? What appears to cover it? Could it possibly be even the belief in an I that is looking for it even? When we go through these things, there has to be something in you that is really an urge. Then from myself, it becomes very easy, very easy. I should not have to work at you. Because if I have to work at you, then you quickly go back to a hard place to find. On the way here, first we came from Tiruvannamalai we had to take a bus to Chennai, to take a plane to go to Delhi and then also to Dehradun. When we got off our bus, Shri told me, there's some people, you don't know them, but they're watching your satsangs. They've come, they want to come to the airport just to see you, just to say hello. Okay. To arrive at the airport, we had like 10 minutes to get on board, to get this is the flight. I arrived as we came out, as before the van door opened, I saw these people, I know it's them. I came out and I just greeted them And in 6 minutes or so, I had all the satsang I need to have with them. 6 minutes. Somebody was filming. Others were packing from the van, pulling down the things to move. But I was with them like this, and they're like this. And it was enough. Why enough? Maybe circumstances dictated how much time you have. I was not thinking of time. Everything flow. But if I have to come and try and dig you out the hole that you are happy inside and stuff, it's not good. So even by being in satsang, you may not know, but grace is preparing something. You don't even have to try to bring a question. Just be here and open. If you don't understand my words, it's okay. Trust what brought you here. Sometimes people come to satsang like this and their mind troubles them so much they have to come out quickly, even before I speak. You came here, something magical is taking place. Anyone who has come with some urge, it has to happen something. Then don't be doubtful. If it is your time, you will not be missed. It works like that, and I'm in full trust of that. So I'm sharing with you. Sometimes people come to the microphone, and I will speak much more broadly because I don't feel the bite yet. It's like fisherman goes to the lake and put the things down and put his bait and stuff. And then he puts his little thing in, get the chair up, makes a cup of tea, lights his pipe, and he may watch something. And then, okay, and then, oh, then we start running. Okay, like this. In a way, something has to happen like that. I'm not calling you fish, no? I'm just saying something has to be a bit like this. That, of course, we are curious, mind, some person or some beings have come here and they will not return in the way they came. Because they know that there's nothing back there. And every time someone comes to the mind, it's like, is it you? Let's see. I say, when we are curious, we learn. When you're desperate, you discover. When you're burning, you will find. What I would put is the most profound and significant and auspicious discovery in the human kingdom. Is a human being discovering their true nature. But that's just my take. You ask, like today, now is all the time you have to find. Then you will see if your mind is in on the game or you've come here, like, you have to find, you have to discover. And it is not hiding. The self is not hiding. Where can the infinite hide anyway? But the attention an identity formed in the finite will keep on somehow struggling inside itself. That's all. This struggle is simply a kind of a phenomenal play appearing in the infinite self. We are.
Guruji, I was, when I was seated back, I felt that let's put your question or let's have your time other days. And then I said to myself that there is no other days. This is your days and this is the time. You are here and why don't you come up and see if the time comes for you or not?
Yeah, now do
Now
now.
it's-
Now do now.
But you know, before we I come here, I was full of
That's
questions.
not now. That's not now. That's not now. And I want to point to that attitude because it is a postponing attitude. Background I don't need. Foreground I don't need. I just came to meet you. History I do not need. Good deeds I do not need. Watch your mind also. Maybe some subtle fear. Maybe it will tell you, you can't combust in front of all these people. You know, you're being recorded. Just like that. Maybe we could meet in private.
Actually, I have been imagined that it happens for me in front of everybody. And it is that, Guruji, I don't have anything to come back. I mean, I have so many things, but I'm not attached to them, and
When I was in Tiruvannamalai, we stopped on the way to Tiruvannamalai for a few weeks. And one man came to the guest house I was staying in, and he said, I'm a friend of the owner of this guest house, and I'm following you. I'm following you for some time. My wife and I follow you. And he said, I like you because you make whoosh satsang. That's why I use the word whoosh satsang. You make these whoosh satsang. I said, what is that? He said, yeah, because I saw when you went in front of Papaji, you know, in front of Papaji, it was like told you something. He told you that you have to disappear, and that was it. Okay, and now you are whooshing everybody. He said that. This is very good. Now you're whooshing everyone. What it mean? And then Papaji did not tell me you go and do all these mantras right now. He didn't tell me you must go to Kailash. He did not tell me to go and dip in the Ganga. He did not tell me that I must read all these books. I did not talk to him before. What did he say? You want to dare to be God, and you want to be you. If you want to know the truth, there cannot be the truth and you. You must disappear. What kind of instruction is that? How can I make myself disappear? So something became very angry inside. Like, why is he talking like that? This is, became very hot and angry. And I decided, this is it. I'm leaving Lucknow. The place was called Lucknow. So for me, in that moment, it was bad luck now. I'm leaving bad luck now. Okay? I go and I start to pack my things to go away because I was so furious inside with frustration. He embarrassed me. He did not use my letter properly. So I went into the town, it was too hot, and spent maybe 15 minutes under a tree, and then decided, okay, I'm gonna go. And then what happened? I was walking, something, I could not find myself. What a stupid thing to say. Who couldn't find himself? I could not find any reference for the idea I have of who I am. I could not find. And whatever was here, it was just space, like empty. And there was nothing there, no mind, no person, no history, nothing was there. Then shortly after, some image of Papaji came inside my mind. This is what I speak about. As long as you're holding on to yourself, the sense of yourself, you have a loyalty to your own personal identity, it will fill up everything. You will not be able to feel even the God who is not in front of you is in your own self. We think that something is blocking you from seeing God, but God cannot be out there. It is God inside you. Until we come to that place where you discover that what your fundamental nature is one with the Supreme Being, then we will only have relationships with God, which means that the Supreme Self will keep manifesting, okay, in a form that you can have a relationship with for now. But it will not be the highest, but it's beautiful. You will know God, you have intimate contact with the God Self. In consciousness, you'll be growing, expanding like this. And this is good. I'm happy to tell you this also. That our love for God, our worshipping of God, reading the books, is bringing you more into a direct connectedness with the Supreme Self. But it's still a duality, it's fine. You will still feel, I go to God. And you will still keep the sense of our personal and independent self. That is also fine. Paramatma made it like that also. What maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm wasting my time. I'm trying to show you the sage in you. But that's maybe my delusion. Life brought me to a master who is a non-dual, into non-dual awareness. It doesn't mean that you're going to walk around and say, look, I am God. It's not like that. But you will lose this sticky, persistent identity that is also shaped with the mind and always creating some deviation, who is never steady. It can only be steady when it is dissolved. It's like you are dissolving your idea of yourself into yourself. We are moving about within our own infiniteness. I don't know if these words are inappropriate. And sometimes we're not ready for it. Sometimes we're not ready. Some people have been guided into this, and it's been too powerful that at the realization of what it is, and then the next day, the mind comes with the full army of resistance and things. And if you are not in an environment that is supportive, and to go through this birthing, if you want to say, then somehow we will tend to be frustrated by the mind. The mind will beat you, because you're still a you in a sense. So I think we are good for today. I think we're good for today. Introduction. And don't believe any conclusion your mind makes about anything. Have inside your heart, those of you who are earnestly here for that I'm here for this, I'm called for this, I must be fulfilled by this. It's good?
ब्रह्मोऽहं ब्रह्मोऽहं ब्रह्मा स्वरूपोऽहम् चिदोऽहं चिदोऽहं सच्चिदानन्दोऽहम् शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवा स्वरूपोऽहम् शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवा स्वरूपोऽहम् शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवा स्वरूपोऽहम्
Obrigado. 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 Obrigado, muito obrigado. Tchau, Benedito. Tchau.